For the half kneeling halo, you want to grab a disc, okay? And you're going to get into what we call half kneeling position. So this is tall kneeling, and then with both knees on the ground, and then this is half kneeling, okay? One knee's on the ground. So with the half kneeling position, I want to imagine that my legs are like on railroad tracks. Okay, so I'm not out like this, I'm not out like that. I want to feel like I'm on a railroad track. Okay, so foot here and a foot here. Okay, so I'm going to get nice and tall, and I don't want to slouch forward or anything, or lean back. So if I'm here in this half kneeling position, I'm keeping my shoulders over my hips and my hip over my knee as best as possible. Okay, so I'm not here and I'm not here. So shoulder over hip, hip over knee. And you'll notice the difference when you do this if you're balanced over the knee or if you're leaning forward, because this is actually easier to do than this, because you feel a lot more wobbly in that hip when you're in the right position. Okay, so I'm nice and tall. I'm going to take my disc, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to trace my head. Trace my head. So I'm moving around, I'm getting mobility in my shoulders and my upper back, okay? While I'm challenging my core strength and my hip strength and stability while I'm doing that. So if I do this, I'm not getting the right effect. Okay, I want to stay nice and slow and tight and controlled as I do this. So the slower and more controlled you can go, the better. Now you notice I'm tracing my head. I'm not coming up here, and I'm not trying to do it all, or I'm getting a lot of torso movement. Okay, that means usually you're not getting the shoulder mobility you want. So I go about one direction, then I go a couple the other direction, and I like to stop in front of my chin with the disc before I do it again. And then on the back, the more I can get it around closer to my upper back, the better. That means I'm getting more shoulder mobility. So if I'm only to here, and you may start there. You may start where you can only get it up here. That's all right, but we want to work towards getting it more down towards the upper back, okay? Now, next thing is, if you're very unbalanced here, okay, you can start wider. My toes are still pointing forward. This back toe is pulled towards my kneecap. I can start wider. But if now I get to a point where I need to make it a little more challenging, I can bring that leg in, and the closer I am more into inline, the harder it is. So I have to really slow down. With this, I have to really concentrate to make sure I don't fall. So find the position where you're challenged, but you're not just falling, okay? If I'm doing this and I'm falling every other rep or so, that's not good, okay? I'll go a little wider and then challenge my position from there. Now, if you can't do this, start in the tall kneeling. I'm pushing both knees in the ground, pushing the toes in the ground, squeeze the glutes, brace the abs. This is a great starting position if the tall kneeling isn't working for you right away. If even this is too much instability, start at the tall kneeling, okay? So that is the half kneeling and even tall kneeling halo.